history, people have tried many different methods of governing. The most commonly used forms of government are called the classic forms. A monarchy is a government headed by one person, such as a king or a queen, who exercises supreme authority. Power is usually inherited from a royal family, and absolute monarchs have unlimited power. This is the most common form of rule in world history. Most modern-day kings and queens are ceremonial heads of state for constitutional monarchies. A monarchy is an autocracy, meaning a single individual, an autocrat, controls most of governmental power. Monarchies are risky because people become sick with power, and with absolute power comes absolute tyranny. A constitutional monarchy is based on the idea that there are limits to the rightful power of government over its citizens. In a constitutional monarchy, power of the monarch is limited by law. The real power lies with the other branch of government. The monarch may coexist with other forms of government, such as a representative democracy. This is the type of government that is now practiced in the modern-day United Kingdom. Another form of government is a dictatorship. A dictatorship is a system of rule in which one person, a dictator, or a small group of people can hold unlimited power over the government. This power is often achieved through violence and maintained by force. Examples of dictatorships are Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy during World War II. Similar to a dictatorship, in a totalitarian regime, the dictator holds ultimate authority. Government tightly controls all aspects of life, and there are no formal or informal limits on the government. An example of a totalitarian regime is modern-day North Korea. The Kim family has cut off the rest of the world and created a repressive state. In an oligarchy or aristocracy, a small group of powerful people make most of the government decisions for their own benefit. Membership in the ruling group may be based on wealth, family, or military power. A great example of this is ancient Sparta. In a theocracy, rulers claim to represent and be directed by a set of religious ideas. Laws are rooted in a particular religion or religious doctrine. Government power is unlimited, and usually harsh rule is justified by the religious text. Modern-day Iran is an example of a theocracy. Another form of government is a direct democracy. Democracy means rule by the people. In a pure democracy, people will make major government decisions by majority rule. Citizens come together to discuss and pass laws and select leaders. This works best in small communities. An example of a direct democracy would be ancient Athens. It was stated that in ancient Athens, everyone had an equal say. In reality, it was an elite-based system where only a small fraction of males had a say. The final classic form of government is a republic or a representative democracy. This is an indirect form of democracy that places political decision-making at least one step away from the people. This is still considered government by the people. Citizens are the ultimate source of government authority. These citizens elect representatives to make government decisions on their behalf. Typically, representatives are elected for a set term, meaning they only hold office for a certain amount of time. Examples of a republic are ancient Rome and the modern-day United States. The power to govern must be organized in order to make government efficient. The way power is distributed among various levels of government helps to make governing more effective on behalf of the governed. The first way in which government is organized is called a unitary system. In a unitary system, power is concentrated in the central government. The central government makes all governing decisions, and regional governments carry out decisions made by the central government. Examples of a unitary system can be seen in the United Kingdom and Japan. Next is the federal system. In a federal system, national, state, and regional governments share power. The central government makes laws, elects officials, and creates agencies at the federal level. Regional governments make laws, elect officials, and create agencies at the local level. Federal systems of government exist today in the United States and India. Lastly, we have the confederal system. In a confederal system, independent states join together in a confederation and delegate limited powers to the central government. The central government only has powers given to it by the states. An example of the modern-day confederal system is the European Union. Most nations have developed some sort of democratic government. However, democratic governments can take two different forms. Each form has its advantages and disadvantages. The first form is the presidential system. Some advantages of a presidential system is that a president is elected by the people for a fixed term and cannot be dismissed. Separation of powers prevents abuses of authority. In a presidential system, the president is independent of other branches and is able to make decisions quickly and independently. Some disadvantages of a presidential system are it is difficult to remove an unsuitable president. A separation of powers between the branches may lead to a gridlock due to the branches having different agendas. In some instances, the president may become too strong, and some presidential systems have turned authoritarian. The other form of democratic government is the parliamentary system. Some positives of the parliamentary system are that the legislative and executive branches are often united in purpose. The Prime Minister is directly accountable to Parliament, which makes it easier to pass legislation. The disadvantages of the parliamentary system are that there are few checks and balances. The Prime Minister is selected by the legislative body and not the people, and the Prime Minister lacks independence. With so many different types of government, it is up to each nation to determine which form of government will work best for its people.